This episode of Cousins Sons is brought to you by the Masani Group. As you guys know, Garon and I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One of our black belts is not only a black belt in BJJ, but also in the housing market. It can help you get the best deals on homes in the greater Los Angeles area. Just call the Masani Group at 626-263-0434 or visit their website at themasanigroup.com. This episode of Cousins Sons is brought to you by Authentic Muay Thai Supply. This is an online fightwear store where you can find the best, most authentic Muay Thai protection gear, training gear, boxing gloves, and Muay Thai shorts straight up from Thailand. Good prices, good people. Check them out over at AuthenticMuayThaiSupply.com and enjoy this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Nailed it, Pepper.
You'll be proud of someone. Just give me a chance to make yourself. If you don't like me here, I will be someone else.
Low key though, they were just like, like
Just handing them.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's a Super Bowl. Everybody's having a good time, and it was
which was kind of it looked like a good game.
It was a good game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It was a pretty. 49ers blew it in the last quarter. They got scored on by like 20-something points or more in the last quarter and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no,
That's
it was good.
the part
it
of
was
it I
good.
missed.
Yep, that was it. Yeah, but it was good. The Chiefs won first time in 50 years, and
And the 49ers won before, right? They were going to tie with someone.
No, they've won before, yeah, but they lost the last time, which was I think like 7 years ago. Yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
It was against Baltimore. It was Ravens. They lost to the Ravens.
57 years.
I made $500 on that game.
You did?
Not this one, but that one, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that one.
that like
That's Super Bowl.
some years ago. Oh, okay.
I didn't bet on this one. I actually did.
I've been wanting.
I did the
I've been
squares.
wanting to bet, dude. I honestly think about this. Let us know in the comments. I think betting on fighting, knowing some. Or like knowing jiu-jitsu, enough. And I'm not even saying we're on that level, but dude, like if you're on like Steve's level, right?
Yeah.
Coach Steve?
Yeah.
Like where it's just like, it's like, dude, betting would just be such a pretty guaranteed thing for you.
Hands down.
Like you would have your upsets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't have thought the Cerrone fight would have gone the way it did. I think Conor would have won, but not like he did. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, if I were to bet on that, because, I mean, there's that, too. Like, your bet, depends on what type of bet you're taking. You know what I mean? How in-depth in the bet you want to go.
Depends on, like, who...
Like, if you're just betting on, like, who wins or who loses, but then you could bet on, is it going to be a knockout? You could bet on that,
No, yeah, because you know the odds, the statistics, like I've been talking about. The stats of it all.
But I bet on the I bet on the Conor Mayweather fight. Mm-hmm. Not a lot, but but I bet like a few different people, like $20, $10, whatever. Yeah. I think it came out to like $180 at the end of the day, like all the people I bet, and I won because they all thought Conor was going to win. And I was just like, it makes zero sense, dude. And see, that's the thing, like knowing martial arts, dude, you could just bet people that don't know, because everyone thinks they know fighting. Mm-hmm. Everybody. I mean, we did until we started.
And even with that, with taking him to the ground and stuff, he took some blows. He took blows.
Conor?
No. When Conor lost, he still was throwing some blows.
Oh, to Khabib? Yeah, oh, yeah.
To Khabib.
And honestly, yeah. Well, and another thing that, like, Chael Sonnen, shout out, and, like, Brendan Schaub, shout out, like fighting experts talk about is his defense and being a white belt in jiu-jitsu and a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, like defense, or you have to learn defense, and that's kind of what you have to focus on, especially dealing with these black belts. Mike Cody, shout out. But to anyone that doesn't know fighting, you don't see the technique and defense like in UFC. But now, like if you were to watch the Khabib fight, it's like, oh, Conor is using a lot of solid defense.
Yeah.
Like good technique. I mean, Khabib's beating him to the punch because he's way better grappler. That's just obvious.
Yeah, he is.
But Connor did do a good job, and I would be interested to see it again.
Now what is it? Has it been 2 years? A year and a half now?
Maybe
year maybe ish. Yeah.
Over a year.
Yeah. Seems a lot longer. It's crazy. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I'd be more interested now seeing a rematch than I was closer to the actual fight.
Well, one thing is just like the drama between the two dudes, and like it just seems like it hasn't settled.
Yeah.
You know, like they're.
It'll be the biggest, probably the most security at a fight ever.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder where it'd be. Maybe in Abu Dhabi or in Moscow.
That's crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know if Connor would go.
I don't know if that would be a good idea. Have it in Moscow, but I don't know. Like,
that is crazy though.
Then again, dude, I don't know. Like talking to the dudes at where did we watch the
There we go.
yeah, just like hanging out with Jill last year, like during the Habib, and seeing their perspective on it, because like I went into it. First off, I don't really like put politics into my sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for instance, and it's easy to do with fighting. Like if you just don't like someone because of religion or whatever the fuck you know, whatever. It's like I liked Habib because he was the grappler.
Yeah.
Not because he was a nice guy or not a nice guy or anything. Yeah. He seemed organic to me. He still does. But like Jill's crew, like was trashing on him, and it was like, oh, Habib, humble. He talks about humble, and like I don't know. Maybe they're right. You know, I don't know the fucking guy. But yeah, and like I was telling Wolfie while we were there, I was like, oh yeah, I'm basically just going for Habib because he's the grappler. And Wolfie was like, because Wolfie wasn't going for him either.
I know.
He was going for Connor.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. And when I told me, I was like, oh, I'm just going for him because he's the grappler. He's like, oh, okay. I like that.
Well, then that's,
yeah. I was like, yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. I like to see the sport of grappling win.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good. It's
to that
cool
level.
Every time.
Well, it's cool for like, you know, your brother wrestling. I like watching your brother. I mean, reading about him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Watch him, but you know what I mean? That's fun to see, especially me being related to you. I mean,
of course. And like even me watching it more now, you know, even though it is different wrestling in that. In jiu-jitsu, it's still grappling. It's still, you see those underhooks. You still see those takedowns. You still see those, you know, like, which is cool to.
Which I've watched some jiu-jitsu videos where they've talked about, like, you know, specifically this one guy that he's a black belt now, but he, you know, he people will message him questions. You know what I mean? Just like, well, this happened to me today. What about this? So he'll go into it. He's like, and he'll tell his perspective on it. And like one of them was like, oh, when I was a purple belt, you know, this guy came in that was a white belt, and you know, I was not. He was, you know, a nice guy and everything, and he just sort of dominated me. And you're like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Like I'm a purple belt. Like this guy just like came in here and just like does whatever. And then you start talking to him. You know, we've talked about this too. You know, it's like people with Krav or different martial arts or whatever. He's like, oh, you know, I'm NCAA wrestler, and he's like, oh. And he's like, well, so just so you know, folks, you know, grappling is grappling. You know what I mean? No, so like when you're on a high level of any sort of grappling, even judo, I mean, you know, or not even judo, but just like judo or any sort of, or even Shano, shout out, you know, a black belt in Japanese jiu-jitsu, traditional jiu-jitsu. It's like, you can tell, you know, the techniques that, I mean, it's just. Grappling's grappling, so it's just, I don't know.
No, who was it last night? Went to the store last night, and Simone had a friend from Jersey out, and I don't know if he's still in the military. I don't think he's in the military still, but he was, but I don't know if he's like, but he was active in Brazil, and he trained jiu-jitsu for 3 years while living in Brazil.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow. He's like, legit. I don't train anymore, but he's like, it's almost like that was during his.
You've met Tate, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you have. He's the I don't know how to describe him. Like he's I think he does stand up, but he like hangs out the story. But he's like the I don't know how to describe him. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like, but like a hardcore dude. But he really nice guy. He's been on Rogan and stuff.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But like, yeah, he's like been to prison and stuff like that.
No, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Really nice dude. I was wearing a beanie that one time. He was like, "Dude, I like your lid." Were you there for that?
Was he bald? He's not bald.
No, I don't think so. He was wearing a hat though. Beard though.
Yeah.
Big guy. I mean, like you know.
Big guy, big. Then
Anyways.
I might have, yeah. I mean, he might have been there last night. There was lots of people there last night. But it was cool talking to him about Simone's friend. Just, he was, speaking straight up, I think, the language. Like
Portuguese?
Portuguese, yeah.
Yeah.
And even then I was like...
I don't know if they all speak Portuguese.
They don't. That's the thing.
I think some
problem with
speak Spanish.
You learn Spanish, you learn Portuguese, you learn... There's just so many languages, and it's the hardest thing. Like, even when I said, I was like, what do you learn down there? He's like, just... Good luck.
Yeah, that's kind of probably crazy.
Yeah,
it's like in the same city.
Yeah,
that you have like different like we don't even speak that language down.
Yeah,
yeah. Talk about segregation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But yeah, no, it was cool because he was in town, so of course, he was watching the whole show. Simone was in the OR. When I got there, it was sold out. Simone went on early, but it was like line out the door. So I just went and kind of stood there back by the OR to look up to see him on stage. And he got off the stage, and then we just hung out by the parking lot. And then we're hanging out with Brad Williams, and then Elijah Schlesinger. She came, and she was there. We were playing around with people who are walking in and out of the OR. We were asking them for their IDs. We're like, ID, please. ID.
Really?
Yeah.
With Elijah?
Yeah.
No way. She was doing it?
Yeah, no, I jokingly said we should do it. And she's like, let's do it. And she's like...
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then it was cool because I think... Have we met Chris D'Elia in person? I can't remember if we've officially met him.
I don't know.
But I met him last night. And it was cool because he was saying hi to Simone. And then he turned to me and shook my hand.
Oh, yeah. I've taken a shot with Chris D'Elia in Nashville.
You've actually, yeah.
I forgot about that.
In that moment...
That was actually kind of before I even knew.
I know, before you knew even... Yeah. But it was cool because he still introduced himself as Chris. It wasn't like... He could have not even said anything to me. He just fist bumped, said hi to Simone, and then he turned to me. He was like, "Hey, I'm Garon." He's like, "Hey, I'm Chris," and I was like, "Hi, I'm Garon." It was just one of those like, how do you answer that? Like, of course I know who you are.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. Same thing with like.
But it was cool.
Simone with Theo Vaughn.
And
Theo.
Then, no, exactly. And then we went in the back to go get drinks. Well, not the back, the kitchen, and then he went to go get change from the office. And he's in there talking, and I didn't want to walk in. And then he calls me, and he's like, "Come in, meet Pauly." Pauly Shore, because it was his birthday.
Dude, that's a starstruck moment.
It was his birthday, and but I didn't know he was there.
Really?
So all of a sudden, no, I knew he was there, but I didn't know he was behind the corner.
Yeah.
No, I knew it was his birthday and everything, but I didn't know that's who Steve was talking to in the office.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was talking to the manager. So I'm just sitting there, and next thing you know, he's like, "Hey, come in here." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I walk in, and as I come in, he goes, "Meet Pauly," and I'm like, so it was one of those like, I was not prepared for this.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
it's always like that.
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, who's behind door number 1?
It's kind of crazy too, because it's like. I'm not starstruck by I don't think by a lot of things. I'm starstruck by weird things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if I were to and comedians are one of those things.
Also got to fist bump our boy DC.
DC fucking
call him twice because I'm on the way.
No way.
Yeah.
He was there?
He was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a iconic moment in Cousins and Sons history.
His license plate, he just pulled up, parked it on the side, like didn't even pull into the driveway. And everybody's like, "Is that his car?" It's like a nice, lifted and everything kind of, I think Jeep in a sense is what it is. But
Range Rover,
like
maybe.
Range Rover, yeah. And it says his license plate is Mic Drop.
Oh, nice. Of course.
Yeah.
Dude, just
so if you ever want to find him, guys.
That's him.
That's him.
Dude, that's crazy. What a I don't know. That's huge.
I mean,
like,
and he was so nice. Like, he just fist bumped because he was walking by and fist bumped. But then he was even nice because there were some people who were like following him, get out of the car and go to the main room. He went straight from the car to the main room on stage, and people were like, "Hey, I love you. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, my name's." And he introduced, and he was perfectly fine. But they were like straight up following him. Well, I'm like, guys, come on, like,
dude, no. But remember that freaking party that we went to? When we first moved here, and we brought those chicks from Colorado.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they were like all up on like JoJo was there and shit, and like they were all up on our nuts, and it was just like, dude, stop, dude.
She just won her first Grammy, dude, and we hung out with her at her birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. Shout out to JoJo. I'm sure you'll listen to this.
Yep, always. She's
a huge fan. But no, but yeah. Oh god.
No, it was.
I just don't understand that.
It's just, and I was just walking by. I was like, I feel bad, kind of like. But I mean, he's exactly who he said he is. Like he's, when you're like, oh, it's all about the fans. No, he was nice to each one. Mm-hmm. He let them walk with him, kind of thing. He indulged them.
See, I feel like you and me. I feel like we're not going to be those people, dude.
It was just like,
especially you, actually. It's just like, you get the fuck away, dude. You annoy the fuck out of me.
Get away. Like, I don't know. The people who were surrounded by I get more and more like, there's that humble. I think there will come moments where you're like, leave me alone. But then there's moments where it's like, you have to remember where you came from, and you also.
Not only that, it's like that's why you're making your money.
That is why it's these people. So you just it comes with the territory. Yeah. Brad Williams was talking about. They were just joking a few weeks ago, in the back, talking about, not even in the back, just in the hallway, talking about like Seguro and them. They were all talking about they were complaining about tour bus stuff. Like, oh, not complaining, but just like, oh, does your tour bus do this? Oh, mine does this. Oh, mine doesn't do this. And they're all kind of complaining about it, just being like, oh, it broke down or this. And I guess Bill Burr comes around.
I knew you were going to say Bill Burr. Yeah. You were just complaining about fucking tour bus, fucking ferries.
Yeah. Bill Burr comes around and goes, do you guys not remember when we wish we had a fucking tour?
I like him for that, though.
Yeah.
I like him for that.
Yeah. Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr comes around, and Brad Williams, he's at just enough of the celebrity status of like he is. I mean, he's a great guy. That's also why too. And Simone and everybody, as far as that, even however big they get, they're still gonna be like, no, dude. I remember when we. You
gotta understand where they're coming from. I bet you Bill Burr was like that, and that's what he's realizing now.
But no, I'm saying Brad wasn't joking about it. He said the other guys were, and he was just telling this story. Because he was there, because they were talking about all these nice cars and stuff like that, and Brad Williams was like, he just had a kid, and we were talking about how you've become a celebrity when you can just show up to a TV set now, or TV set and be put in the show. And I said, yeah, Robin Williams did that on Friends one episode. He was in the area, and they let him improvise a scene. And it's like, it's funny because you can't even do that now, because what happens, you could go on and it's like, oh no, I'll be fine just being in the background. And they're like, but then we have to pay you if you even say one line because of union and all this. And they're like, back in the day, they didn't care. They're like, yeah, just be on set. Now it's like, even if you as the actor say, I don't care, legally, they have to pay you.
Yeah.
So.
Which is some bullshit.
But it was cool
because yeah, that gives you. I mean, it helps you even when you're not getting paid.
Who was it?
It's like Robin has to get paid. Had to. Huh.
Diaz went up. He was great. He killed it as well.
I just saw something with him.
He killed it. He pulled up. It was cool for like a good hour and a half. We were just back there by the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even Brad Williams said, dude, he's like, and that's so cool talking to him because. A lot of them are still in that, like, even though they're successful, it's still that they know where it's still new and they know where it came from. They're like, he's like, dude, I could stand here all day and just watch these big time comedians come through here. And I was like, dude, I feel the same way when you walked up. You know, like Brad, I was like, you're a comedian, like you're doing it, kind of.
No, I mean, I was on Instagram today and saw fucking Simone's picture on the Comedy Store Instagram on the same fucking page as Rogan and fucking Joey Diaz, and like it's like, oh, it's our homie, dude, and like I don't know, dude, this comedy thing's a blessing, really.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it is hard, and that's another thing too, dude, is like people appreciate hard work. I mean, jiu-jitsu's taught us that too, just as far as like true. People respecting you or whatever, and same thing with comedy. It's like not even the best at it yet, or or whatever, but like just the fact of just showing up and shit, people
Yeah.
Show love.
Yeah, just showing that you're doing it without having to. And it goes back to what we say at the end of each one of these. Don't talk about it, be about it. It's that mentality of.
Yeah, because there's definitely times.
There's people didn't even know we have a podcast until random people tell them,
Yeah.
It's not something we. I mean, yeah, we
No, we
post
don't
about it
really
and stuff.
talk about it.
Yeah, we don't. In which that's what we love the most, but still doing it, because what is this, episode 35?
Oh, I think
Yeah. So
closer
it's
to
like
40, actually.
what?
Isn't it?
This is 35. Yeah.
This will be?
Yeah.
You think? Is it?
Yeah, this is episode 35.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
well, and the reason why we're doing this episode without any visuals is we're moving studios, potentially. Oh, we're moving
No,
studios.
yeah, we're just moving studios.
And
we're
we
moving things around, getting new equipment.
We just got
and stuff like
a
that.
bunch of new equipment, so we're excited to show that off.
So, and we were waiting for things to come in, but now we still want to keep consistent, for the people who listen. And so we're like, the times that we don't have everything, we still have the setup to be able to at least do just audio.
Yeah, which after today, there's really no excuse to not.
Yeah, because we
pretty much will have everything.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully the studio space sounds cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we could figure out something. And I mean, even if the whole setup, I'm looking forward to what's to come for Cousins and Sons and see exactly what we're able to do more with and stuff. So
moving on from the fourth wall, everybody.
Moving on, and then, but yeah, it is exciting to see. But yeah, it's been a heck of a week. We're trying to come together.
It's been a heck of a week, and I feel like
I know it's been. It's crazy how it's been. It's been a fast week.
3 mics.
It's been a long weekend. No, I only did 3 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't able to do any more.
But I feel like I still
But it was still a lot of
hectic week.
Again,
even just with just dealing with.
No, yeah.
Getting the stuff.
Yeah.
Was just
going through all the back end stuff and everything to get it done, which was cool. Like you said, I think we've done more research on stuff than we have in a long time, as far as
I think we did it right.
And stuff and doing everything and pulling everything together, and
do your research.
Yeah, and so it's like.
Well, and I'm glad we did. I mean, if we would have just went in there blind or just ordered something off Amazon or something like that without going into, I'm glad we went in there. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Was go in there, test those mics, because it was like, whoa. Even these that we're on right now, quality stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
These are nice. These are, but
I mean, in perspective, going in there,
for sure. I'm
getting
so glad.
that perspective on wow, or the Rogan mic, which is what is this?
Trying out all these new mics and watching so many YouTube videos, and just seeing exactly what is the right stuff.
I even asked Scott today about the Rode mixing board. Shout out. And of course he was like, I asked him how much the one at the Fed at the Fed was. Scott Fed.
Oh, the board at the Fed, dude? Is that legit?
Well, I asked him how much it was. He's like, new or used? I was like, used. He's like $1,000. I was like, new. He's like 2,500. I was like, I mean, it's not how much ours is, but it's.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, it's worth that price.
I was thinking, what do you think Dr. Dre's is? Like 40 grand?
It depends. His is huge, too.
Yeah.
His is like 8 of the ones at work,
Yeah.
Like it's a multiple kind of experience. It's like a built-in. It's not like just like the one there you can still take and move place to place if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that one's like a set.
An actual studio.
It's like takes up this wall.
Yeah, no, it's an actual studio,
That's crazy.
So that's
it's got to be like 50, 60 grand.
I don't know. But I'm looking forward to playing with.
I think it's it's definitely going to upgrade.
New toys, new seeing things, really opening up doors and stuff like that. And then, what else did we? It's funny. I feel like I haven't seen you in days.
Yeah, it's been a weird week.
Even though, it's been off and on. I've worked less. You've worked more. We haven't been around. We haven't done really mics. Just getting everything figured out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go tomorrow. Hopefully.
Even though we haven't been doing mics, though, just note, I feel like we've been progressing.
No, yeah, for sure.
I've seen some progression here in the last, the new year, which is, don't talk about it, but, stick with it.
No, I'm excited. I'm having fun with it, and I feel bad when I miss out, but at the same time, it's also the same as I wasn't beat. Yeah, exactly.
It's always been something for the craft.
Yeah, I'm not beating myself up about. Yeah, exactly. It's not that I'm being lazy about it. Kind of.
It's always been like, for the crowd.
Yeah,
Like I said.
Which is
because like, we're now on episode 35. So we're gonna just like keep going with this.
Yep.
So
Keep
especially
going.
now. So it's just kind of like, I got to figure that out too.
That's awesome.
Proud of us.
I'm proud of fist bump. What else is there to? That's pretty much kind of what we were talking about. I mean, the store last night was fun. Again, I wish I could have gone even later because I was gonna go over to the Rainbow Room for the Polly's birthday afterwards. I was at the store till like midnight.
You were just with Simone?
Mm-hmm. I was there from 6 till midnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 till midnight I was there. And then what else was he? What were we there for? We were. Oh yeah, and then what's her name? What's her name? I'm so bad with names. Piper, Rowdy Piper's daughter.
Oh shit, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm so bad with names. She was there again with some girls, and then so it was like her, 2 girls, and then Simone's friend who they did the ghost tours with. So the same kind of story, which is great. But then we spent another hour because each person talked about their ghost stories. And it was like legit stuff.
Dude,
Which was, I was like, oh, wow, this is, and some of them were like, one of the girls was like intense, where like everybody was like, got goosebumps. We're like, are you kidding me? That's scarier than when I just heard it. I was like, I know I've heard the same stories from Simone, but even all of us were just like, that is some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it was fun, like, and we went, back the main, we were back in the back bar, had some drinks, they were drinking and stuff. And
that's good stuff.
I even saw, who did I see? Dylan was leaving as I was getting there. He had a set like at
Sullivan.
6:30.
Shout out.
Yeah, Dylan Sullivan. He had a set right before I got there, and then he left and went over to the one of the mics down the street at the bars.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
the dojo or something?
Yeah, I think, the dojo. And I almost would have went with him if it wasn't for, it was like Polly's birthday and that kind of, like, it was a fight in myself being like, I want to go do mics.
No.
Do I want to go
because there is that,
this route
to be honest,
because I should go hang out
with I was just going to say that when we just brought this up, like, where there is an excuse, we still could have made mics if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
There's always like that, I don't know. I'm still like nervous about it, which I feel bad about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not as nervous, obviously. I mean, you can just tell on stage. Yeah. But, like, there is that, like, when I found out, like, oh, okay, well, I could kind of, I probably could have finagled a way to, like, make a mic. But I was like, I could have made the 10 o'clock or something like that, And that's, like, what I wanted to hold myself accountable for this year more. Is not being scared. Because that's really what it is. It's not really laziness. It's more of just like, do I want to go chance bombing? And here's another thing, too, is I've been doing good lately. So, like, it's almost like you want to leave on a good note, right? So it's like, why go fucking do this when I just left with this confidence? Yeah. You know what I mean? Why now let this last mic be the one that leaves me for the rest of the week feeling like a failure?
Yeah. No, and you don't have to, like...
But you still have to do it.
No, yeah.
It's a coward move.
No, but I've had that all week where, like, my first mic will be either great or bad or vice versa, and then it makes me not want to do the second one. Or, like, if I do a good mic, the second one, I'm like, I wish I could have just left on that note. Or the first mic is a bad one, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm here for another hour or I have to go to...
You have to do another one. Yeah.
What it is, it's just constantly trying new things, seeing new things, and getting, again... We now have to put it in the next gear because we've talked about it too much as far as going to new places.
Yeah.
So I think we now need to. Now the world knows that we actually have to go to new places.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to.
So am I. Honestly, after that show in Nashville, it was like, oh, well.
No, I knew, and I figured February would be the month. January went by so fast. Like so fast. And I'm like, but it was one of those where I'm like, no, I'm gonna get back on my feet. So I'm gonna do what I can with the little bit of money we have. Let's do over here,
Well, and honestly, we've gotten a lot done. No, I mean, with the help of fucking...
No, we've done all of it.
The powers that be. But, like, like...
But, like, in general, in the 4 months. I mean, the 4 weeks of January. Just in general, it went by fast. I feel like it was just yesterday where it was like...
Dude, I feel like it was yesterday we started comedy. Like, I don't even feel like we've been doing this a year.
It is weird. It is weird.
Yeah. Or even jiu-jitsu for a year. It's kind of crazy. I was like, fuck, dude, it's going to take forever for me to get it. I can't wait to get my blue belt. Now it's like, blue belt? Fuck, I don't even remember being a white belt.
Right?
You know? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Like, how time goes by. And just,
Yeah, I don't...
It seems so long in the moment, but like honestly, even the podcast itself has been progressing, you know?
And it has. And we
some
haven't even
way or
done
another.
it for... I feel like our first one was in
I don't even
April.
think we've been doing it a year, have we?
Our first one, I think, was in April.
I've been telling people we've been doing it a year, but...
April, May, June...
That was when we started recording, or at least...
I think April is when we started recording. We didn't release...
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because fuck, dude, we didn't even fucking know anyone in the comedy world a year ago from now. We were showing up like deer in the headlights.
No, but once we got the idea, I remember it was like end of February, so that was 2 months in.
No, I remember texting Travis.
March it started happening, and I was like, well, let's just do it. Let's just... And then we kind of got a game plan out. We're like, should we do seasons? Should we do 10 at a time? Should we do this? I'm like, let's just screw it. Let's just get 10 over the next few 10
which was
weeks,
smart, yeah.
And then let's release them after summer or like throughout summer, I think. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
We'll do 10 and then we'll release them 10 weeks.
And we did, yeah. So
then we build social
10,
media.
We started releasing them beginning of summer because I remember because we recorded a live one, so that the first live one back was after we got back from Maine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that was already like episode 11 by that point.
Yeah.
And then, now it's here. And I think
35.
We've only missed 1 week, which was fine because that was a holiday.
Christmas, I think. Yeah.
The week after, like the week between New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah.
But even then, you get breaks. But still, it's like, and that's why even for this one, I'm glad we were able to pull it off.
Well, and that's why I was hold us to it.
With the audio, it's a quick turnaround. Usually, I just throw it in, edit it, and upload it. The upload probably takes the longest.
Well, that and I like with the equipment. Not that you guys give a fuck, but like, just I didn't want to like. It's like, well, why go pick it up? And you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like, I might as well do this. You know what I mean? So sorry about the visuals, but like, we get new camera, we get new everything in a few short days. But next episode will be quality stuff. But
yeah, we gotta get some more. I always have fun though with guests, and that's why I was glad.
Yeah, and I've asked people about the guests, and they're like, "Oh, the guests make it."
Oh, the guest is great. Yeah, I love.
That's why I'm like, with these, you and me, which we probably have gone how long?
About like 35.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, 20 is probably fine.
Yeah, right.
Sure, everyone's tuned out by now.
Yeah.
Or just starting.
But welcome to Cousin Sons. Yeah, no, exactly. It's a quick one and that's just even the consistency of it, you know?
Yeah.
People do that. I mean, I've seen Theo do like a 25-minute one.
Yo, yeah.
Or just like, hey,
well, it's like,
checking in.
It's about putting in the work. You know what I mean?
And the consistency.
Yeah.
Of it all and everything, but...
And that's why I was like this week, you know, like I feel lazy about mics a little bit, but like I was still putting in work, and we got a lot done. We got a lot done.
Already started laying out for next week to try to make up for it and kind of lay it out and hit the ground again harder with February. And now that it's already February, it's crazy.
No.
I think that's
is that a wrap?
I think that's a wrap. Let's just end it there. I mean, if you guys are still here and you want to listen, go ahead. But we're going to go. We're going to leave you guys.
Yeah, but...
remember, guys, don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Peace.
It's not what you wanted from me. You've been trying to make sense of my mistakes. My mistakes, yeah.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for watching this episode. Please hit that subscribe button. Go follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
And remember, if you want to go the extra mile, you can also support us over on Patreon, where in the future we'll be able to get unreleased content and content that nobody else can see. And remember, guys, don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Peace.